everyone's going to leave tonight with a container. So as we're making these different, what we're making tonight is an okra blend, the salsa, the zucchini squash, and daikon radish. So as we're preparing and packing all these containers, whenever one shows up that you know you want to take home, just holler because you'll take it in a different container. Okay? Okay. So, the okra is one batch, the salsa is another batch, zucchini is another batch, and daikon radish is another batch of cultured veggies that we're making tonight. So you're all going to go home with a sample container of them. So as we're going through making the different batches, holler when you know which one that you want, because it'll go into a different container. Okay? So what'd you think of the second batch of the pumpkin? So that's with the protein, and this protein powder is 100% protein from seed source and 100% vitamin D, which most people are finding they're seriously deficient in. And then all the other goodies in it. So it's a great supplement when you're doing the running that you're doing. And then this last batch had carob in it.
Yeah, I like this better than the last batch.
So you could actually taste the carob? I didn't taste it when I made it. Good. Okay.
I like the taste.
Laura did. She's my guinea pig.
The carrot.
Try this.
Can I see it? Last week she sent me all of them. You know, that vitamin D3 she said. The text last year and 95% of the
Yeah. Yeah. So now I'm going to ask two of you to come to this side to start packing. And then two of you to come to this side. So as these ladies or men, whoever decides to pack, and everyone, I'm going to ask everyone to take every roll because I want for you to know all the different steps.
I like that better.
So
I like that better than the sharp. This is good. No, I don't care about that.
yeah, there you go.
That's my favorite.
So what you ladies are going to do is you're going to take handfuls, and I normally will move them. Do you want to pack, Adrian, since you're there? Normally what I do is I just shove it right in. Once you're filled, you're going to use your hand and use that as a packer. We want this whole jar to be totally filled and compacted. Then we're going to toss them over this way. Actually, we're going to go ahead and send them to Carol first. What Carol's going to do is take a piece of cabbage, roll it up, and put it on the top. What the cabbage is going to do is allow the vegetables to go through the fermentation process. You can actually see the bubbling that takes place as the cabbage is fermenting. When you're through, Carol, I'm going to ask you to swing them over this way, at which point two people will be on this side. One person's going to clean the rim. The other one is going to seal super tight. This last class that we had, we ran into molding and cultured veggies, and I've never, ever, ever had that happen. But what we found was that they weren't sealed. Okay? So, Debbie, would you mind taking these over? You can even set the whole case on the chair. You might want to take two cases over. Take all the lids off, send the lids over this way. And then,
How are you sterilizing? What are you doing with these lids?
I'll answer that question in a minute.
Okay.
So when we're filling these up, we're only going to fill them to the line because we need a 2-inch, which it's all of the cultured veggies. We need a 2-inch space for breathing. So just to this lower line.
Okay.
So just fill it up and then pack it down, and we ultimately need to add more, take some more out. And Lise, would you go into the bathroom and get a wash, not a dish, a kitchen dish cloth for wetting, so that we can wipe up. Yep. So we can wipe up the jars. So with paper towels. Thank you. Laura, do you want to start labeling the last batches we haven't labeled? So you're going to need a scissors, because these are big labels.
I just want to make my glass.
Daikon radish. So you can kind of just gauge and have it kind of green and then squash to that. Because we're doing teal squash combo. Daikon radish.
Is that how we're doing?
Yeah. Yes.
First day cabbage. First day. All right.
it's not a necessity, but as new people doing cultured veggies, I would highly encourage. A big bowl like this, we're going to do 2 scoops of Eco Bloom, which is going to act as a pre-fertilizer. So it's going to lay the foundation for the fertilizer and the cabbage, and I'll explain in a second what I mean by that, to actually start breaking down and eating up the sugar in the foods.
What is that liquid?
This is the culture starter. So there's 4 packs of starter in this because we're doing 4 different veggies. And then Adrian's going to mix it all up again. So we've got a pre-fertilizer and the fertilizer that's going to allow all of this to break down that much faster without becoming rancid. The reason we do 80% cabbage is because cabbage has its own lactobacilli all by itself. It's loaded with the good bacteria. But when you cook it up, you actually kill the lactobacilli. So in the culturing process, all of it is totally viable. We're not losing any of it. On the other hand, if you're eating raw cabbage, it's going to give you thyroid problems over your lifetime. Raw cabbage will actually reduce thyroid function. Not when we do it in culture, though, because it breaks down and it takes on a whole different consistency.
Did you say 4 ounces or that?
Yep,
Something.
between 4 and 8, because we're doing 4 batches using the same one.
How do we make the culture starter?
We don't make, oh, it's packets. This is it. It's body ecology specific. And we have this, and we have the kefir starter, coconut kefir too.
Okay.
So I use this every time I do the batches. If I'm making some just for myself, which generally doesn't happen, I'll experiment with just the cabbage. But this gives it an extra oomph, and it activates the cabbage to wake up and start breaking down the sugar and all the other food. So that's the starter. Culture starter. Sorry, Billy. You just have to keep reminding me. I get carried away.
I could tell.
I put a little bit more in here, just a little bit. That's good, Deb.
Like one more jar.
So if 2 of you want to come over here, and I'll move out of the way. Actually, we can have another stuffer over there, or someone can even start stuffing jars from this side. Can I turn this? Sorry, turn this. They're gonna need both. So the lids can come on this side, the jars, you can just keep stacking them up over there, Deb. So I'll go ahead and, Lisa, did you get us a rag? Yes, right there. Oh, of just a small one. This is a towel.
You wanted a dish item.
Just the rag. Okay.
You just don't wipe it.
Just the outsides. And then actually, Wendy, do you want to wipe the outsides? Sure. Just the tops, because we'll clean the bottoms later, and then Jim will have